What's up, everybody? Kong Spideyzilla back at it with another video, and tonight we're going to be taking a look at my Jaws collection. Now, obviously, this is in celebration of the 50th anniversary of the first original masterpiece. So I just thought this was a perfect time to quickly cover this. Now, I want to try to uh water down the time limit or like the runtime of these videos, because I kind of want to like cover them like short and sweet, but like at a good runtime where it's like it's not short, but it's not long. So this is to celebrate the 50th anniversary release of the original movie, and obviously, obviously the original film, but one of the best movies of all time, and one of the original classic masterpieces, and one of my favorite films of all time, and one of my favorite horror films. And so, obviously, might just be my favorite creature feature. Alright, so without further ado, let's begin. Um, I recommend you check out my Batman, Spider-Man, Hulk, and Godzilla and King Kong ones. Uh, this is picking up from those. And which one should I start for? Let's start with the most standard one. Here's just the standard DVD release. Just by looking at that, you can probably tell where I got it from, at a retro store over here where I live. So this is a standard normal DVD. So this is just like a showing of my collection. Um, Unlike the Batman retrospective that I made, that was kind of a little bit of a collection to show off, but the main focus was the Tim Burton Batman films. You know, but this time it's going to be just like a showing of my Jaws movie collection. And of course, talking about my thoughts on the films, but it's been a long time since I watched the sequels, so I can only give my full thoughts on the original masterpiece. Alright, there's that classic line, and sure did. You didn't need, no, bro, you didn't need any, any, like, notification that the Megalodon exists, or there's the Kraken, or, um, all these prehistoric sea creatures that existed that are terrifying, and, other things. Ju- or anything else, really, and the fact that the ocean's not that explored. Like, all it took was this movie. That's all it took to make audiences afraid to go into the water. How epic is that? There's not that much to say other than that it's the original masterpiece. Like, um, okay. I'm one of those kids where I managed to, like, I got shown, like, a couple of movies that had, violence like this. Like, we all, like, lived through times like that, in the early days of our childhood, where we managed to catch wind of like a pretty violent film, and this was one of them. um I remember as a kid, I'm going to show you inside the DVD, very standard DVD, but as a kid, oh man, that iconic opening scene completely terrified me. I will never forget that. Like, this movie just has like great build up, great suspension, just anything you're looking for in a well done, amazing film. Great likable human characters. Some of the best human characters you'll see in any monster film, or any creature feature, or any horror film. Monster creature feature flicks in general. Um, yep. I really like the three main human characters. I really like them, and of course, the shark himself is pretty awesome in the movie. His name is Bruce. Clever reference in Finding Nemo. This movie had such an impact. I remember like reading that this about this thing. Like, sadly, like there was a novelization of this film that I think Steven Spielberg based this on, and this film became the iconic, awesome. Whoa, focus. camera. This film became the awesome, iconic hit it was, but I think the whole story, it influenced people to go out and hunt down sharks, and sadly, a lot of sharks were tragically, let's just say that. Well, it's like pretty tragic. So like, I'm pretty sure anybody who was involved with this classic story and novelization of the movie didn't intend for that to happen. Just that people taking things too far. The message of this movie was to not mess with the dang ocean. Okay. To be aware that the dangers that lurk beneath. The soundtrack is just iconic. What can I say? Like the one of the most popular, most famous movie themes of all time. Like in terms of like the theme of like a movie monster or something, I think it's right up there with like Godzilla and Michael Myers from Halloween. Like it's that iconic. You might say it might be like even more famous than the both of their themes. So this is a 2-disc special edition, 2006 release, I believe. The interesting thing is that this was the 30th anniversary edition. So, when this came out, let me see. Okay. This year's the 50th anniversary, so 20 years. So 10, 20. So this was 2005. I guess that makes sense. I already showed that it was a 2006 release. Yeah, true. And the interesting thing about this one, this cover is like unique. It has like a shiny look to it. And this time it's at night. Actually, this is actually more accurate to the film, the beginning of the movie, because in the normal covers it's always like day. Like we know that the woman didn't die in the daytime. She was assassinated by the shark in the nighttime, but a lot of you folks know the movie, so anyway, that's the 30th anniversary edition, and here's the Blu-ray. Awesome, awesome release. Just look at that. I just really like that. Very beautiful release, and all those great special features you have. I went to see this the 50th anniversary, at the drive-in. Very fun, good experience. I just wish the audio was slightly better, but like the speaker was a little iffy, but I still managed to hear the film just fine, and I was still able to have an awesome experience. Let me know if you guys and gals went to go see the 50th anniversary showing of this film at the drive-in or in the theater. Let me know if you guys and gals had an awesome experience. I'm happy I did. So there's the Blu-ray. Oh yeah, this is a 50th anniversary edition, but this is a cool, awesome slipcover. I think this is a re-release though, but I think it is at a 50th anniversary edition, which is awesome because the cool, unique cover. And whoops, hold on. Sorry about that. I got a phone call. All right. So as I was saying, this is the normal, this is the 50th anniversary edition because you can tell how awesome and unique it looks, and that has the specialness to it. But when you take off the slipcover, I think it's a repackaged edition. I think I should probably look at the back because they tell you what release it is. There's obviously the year it came out. Let me see. Funny, I didn't look at the back to see which one, if this was like an older release. No, I don't think it tells me. Wait, right there. 2018. This is a 2018 release. So, a repackaged 2018 release. So there it is. There's the Blu-ray. Alright, let me go ahead and slide this right back on. So, there it is. The awesome Blu-ray edition. The effects in the movie are really amazing. The animatronic shark in the movie was really well done. I heard that he was a lot of trouble, and I heard this funny thing that he didn't let Steven the shark animatronic shark they named Bruce. He didn't want to listen to what Steven Spielberg wanted him to do. Okay, he didn't listen to what Steven Spielberg wanted him to do. So it's like funny. He had a mind of his own. So awesome first movie, just like classic, just one of my favorite movies of all time, one of the best movies of all time. Really like it. Well, we'll go down in history as one of the best films of all time. Uh, I feel like, fun, really fun drive-in experience. Had a very fun watching the film on the big screen. You know, taking a time traveling back to 1975 when the film came out. So, will always be one of my favorite films. Great effects, great soundtrack, iconic scene, memorable scenes, just great, like, well done scenes, cinematography, the effects, the suspense, the horror, the message, the characters, and the shark himself being awesome. Just everything, just oomph. One of my favorite movies and one of the best movies of all time. All right. Now we get to the sequels, the very controversial sequels. Now, not really controversial. I said it weird right there. Let me say that again. Not very controversial, like that type of controversial, but like in the way, like, these are pretty mediocre. Like, they're pretty bad lead ups from the other films, but I haven't watched these movies in years. So, and not in like the full extent that most people watch them, so like seeing like bits and pieces of them. So the funny thing is that I've never like fully super watched, like I never had the time to sit down and watch these. So um yeah, that's that. So like I really can't tell you my thoughts on these films, but like from what I've heard not good things about them other than that, but I'm pretty sure I find something good about them, and like I always do, and I'm pretty sure um I remember as a kid, when I watched the highlight moments and whatever, I would enjoy it. I heard Jaws 3 gets some defense. Like, it's actually. I heard that Jaws 2 and Jaws 3 have its defenders, though. And almost everybody hates on Jaws the Revenge. So, anyway, here are the sequels. Let's get right to them. Starting with the first one, Jaws 2. Just when you thought it was safe to go back into the water. That famous line associated with this second film. What's his name, by the way? Roy Scheider. Yeah, he comes back from the first film. Very nice looking release, I must say, and they show you the cool menus and the special features you get. I don't think. Yeah, I don't think Steven Spielberg returned at all for the sequels. He only he's only known for the first he's only known for the first film. Yeah, that's that. So here's the nice looking discs. These, I believe, has this really cool look to it. These are older copies I had though. These are this one's a 2001 release. So there's Jaws 2. And these two, I believe, are 2003 releases. If I'm not mistaken. Focus. Dang, camera doesn't want to focus. Okay, there we go. Yeah, 2003. And 2003, yes. These two are 2003 releases. So, I can kind of tell that this one looks a little different. But there's Jaws 2. Cool looking cover. And here's Jaws 3. I remember this one looking pretty cool as a kid, because like Jaws at SeaWorld. I don't know what I'll think of it now since it's another hated sequel. But this film, like even Jaws 2, like Jaws 2, this movie actually has its defenders, so I actually think it's pretty entertaining. There you go. I think the first original film was the longest film. I think Jaws of Revenge is the shortest. They do keep getting shorter as they move on. I think it's a pretty cool concept, Jaws at SeaWorld. Yeah, but that's up to the rest of the people to find out because I've not been a long time. I remember actually watching out of the sequels. I remember actually watching this one through the most. I remember it being entertaining, but that was it. That's the best I could say. I probably got to give it another watch, but I don't know when that will be. Other than that, cool cover, cool concept, but kind of a hated sequel, but it has its defenders. Kind of like the second film. Can't really tell that much about my thoughts on it. And here is the most hated entry in the series, Jaws the Revenge, with the iconic, infamous, "This time it's personal." But can't really say that much about it since I never watched it. Well, yeah, I saw bits and pieces of it. I saw the highlight moments, and it has the pretty famous, infamous shark roaring at the end that recycles that Tom and Jerry cartoon scream, by the way. Completely ridiculous, but it's a nice looking release and a nice looking disc. And as you can tell, these are widescreen editions, all of them, even the original one I have. My older DVDs, and now we get to a little Blu-ray collection. I actually bought from Walmart a while back. I believe it was like a few years ago. I got this from Walmart. I think it was like late 2019 or I don't know, 2020. I got this from Walmart a while back. I got it, and funny enough, I didn't get the original film on Blu-ray until like this year, so pretty crazy. When I first bought this, like, oh cool, Jaws, I'm gonna get this. It's a 3-movie collection. How awesome! And then when I actually bought it and I looked at it, it was just Jaws 2, Jaws 3, and Jaws Revenge. Like, oh, where's the original film at? It's incomplete now. Like, where in the world is the original first film at? But I'm like, I guess they didn't get the rights to the first one because that one's like the big one, the masterpiece with Steven Spielberg. And then these 3 are like just the sequels that didn't get good reception. Interesting how Jaws the Revenge is the only one to get a PG-13. Yeah, fun fact about that. For some reason, it's so weird because Jaws is a scary, violent horror film. Like, it's not violent, it's like more like about terror and like suspense, and there's some blood and gore in there. But yet, Jaws 1, the first original masterpiece one, and then Jaws 2 and Jaws 3, those films are PG for some reason. And Jaws the Revenge is the only one that's rated a PG-13. So just the rating system was more complicated back then in the world of movies because I didn't think PG-13 fully existed after after like what, the early 80s. So I think right in like the mid 80s where PG-13 was finally created. And funny enough, I believe where this started was with another film that Steven Spielberg was involved in, and that was Gremlins, another one of my favorite creature features, along with its sequel, The New Batch, in my own personal opinion. But I believe that is when like Steven Spielberg was like, okay, we gotta make because Gremlins was rated PG, but if you remember Gremlins, there's some violent, scary parts in there. But it's like, I believe that's when Spielberg put his foot down, just like, we gotta make a there needs to be a balance like between PG and R, rated R and rated PG-13. There needs to be a balance between those, and thus the PG-13 rating was born. Alright. There's the sequels and Blu-ray. Jaws 3. Jaws 2. Jaws 3. And Jaws the Revenge. So, there are the sequels and my 3 copies of the original first one. So that's gonna do it for tonight, folks, guys and gals. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I love you all. Take care. Have a good night, or even a good morning or a good afternoon if you watch this at a totally completely different time of the day. Take care. Have a wonderful day, a wonderful afternoon, and a wonderful good night. Love you all. Thank you all. And take care, everyone. And as good old Kong Spideyzilla says, peace out.